Hello there, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, and I have remembered all of the 20 things I need to remember, starting with my art is for sale. I have no other income, so if you want to buy some art, I'm happy to sell it to you. You just have to get in touch with me. I'm everywhere on the internet. Anyway, so I have a painting that I am not happy with in the least. And it had a moment when it looked like it might work out, but it's past that a long time ago. It's under the edge catcher here, this. So this is my bead pan from Michael's that I'm going to pour a bunch of paint into. And when I have as much as I want, let's start that now. Let's start with something neutral. Let's start with white. I will use the leftover paint in another painting. I'll take my caps off. I will think about, yes, using some leftover paint that I have kicking around and mixing it with some lighter colors. And some more colors. Anyway, forgot what I was telling you, other than the fact that usually I tell you all kinds of things about my link, but what I want to tell you mostly is that the description for the video and my paint recipe are below the video when you open show more. Also, there are links down there to the wet and dry artworks from all of my videos. In case you'd be interested in those, the link takes you to a Facebook page where they're actually priced. I think, mostly, right now. I really like this. That is key. What else? Yes. Oh yes, that's good. I like that. I didn't put any black in there. I could use a little more purple. All my colors are in squeeze bottles, pre-mixed with marbles. I can use all the marbles I can get. And I shake them before I use them. Because occasionally there used to be some Floetrol problems. That it comes to the top if you pre-mix your paints. So it's nice to be able to have that marble in there to shake things up a little bit. I am wondering what it is I want in there right now, and I think, short of red, I think this is pretty much the same color I just had in there, yeah, but I like it a lot. So, let's go for it. Let's be brazen. I actually have some green over there I'd like too, but yeah. Okay, now we're just looking at Christmas colors, and that's weird. I'm not sure how to fix this color scheme, but I expect inspiration to come to me, and that's pretty cool. Except for the fact that it just plugged on me right there. Woo! Splooge! And there is no silicone in this mix. We are relying solely on the fact that there's Floetrol, a latex paint conditioner instead of conventional pouring medium, being used, and it does create cells when you agitate it. Okay, that's kind of cool. Not minding that at all. Do I want some more green, maybe? Have I put a marble in that? No. That needs a marble. What else do I want in there? I have some other cool colors that I need to use up. Yeah, I think you can't get too much purple if you're me. So, my timer is set. I'm going to remove the edge catcher, which is what I stop paint with on my paintings. It's kind of cool, huh? Cooler than the painting you're about to see. Very pretty on that side. Alright, so I have shovels, and I have, oh, why did I not unwrap those yet? I have scoops, which is what I thought I was going to use a minute ago. And depending on how long it takes me to unwrap them, if I keep talking to you long enough. Oh, come on. Alright, so I have all kinds of scoops. Those came from Hobby Lobby. Cool, huh? So, like $2, $3? $3. Alright, so let's start by taking some of that pan of color and noticing that you immediately have a desire for more, or I have a desire for more of that orange color. And probably even, yes, is weird and root, yep, that's what I wanted. And we can add colors as we go along, and I did take a painting the other day and I only applied my squeeze bottles to it as a fix. I'm switching back. I'm going back to the shovel because I want a wider swath. And I'm just feeling brazen. I'm going to move some of my colors out of my way. There are pretty colors in here, but they did not make, in my opinion, a pretty pattern. and I'm perfectly willing to risk it at this point. I think I might want some more white in there, or here, or there. And I have near me my Princeton Catalyst spatulas, which are great little swipe tools and dragging tools and every other kind of tool you can imagine. But right now, I think I'm going to come back, put my little pan away. Lots of times I will allow the shovel to rest on its edge and not the flat part. It's an instant ribbon pour too. I really like making multi-dimensional things happen. Very much. I expect this to become improved. I really, really do. And I'm basically following my instincts and praying my muse has returned from vacation, because I'm pretty sure she was on it last week. Alright, so I'm looking at my colors again, and my desire, my instinct, is for some of this orange, and we'll see right there if we like it. I'm going to throw some of that in there also, and I am going to scrape my paint down to the other end. Yes, I am. Now, I want that to flow. In a zigzag pattern, and it can overlap itself if it wants to. And I can take, where is it? My favorite little spatula. No, that's not it. Okay, I have a, that's not it either. I have a flat front spatula. Well, the diagonal will have to work till I find the other one. In any case, I'm going to scrape the paint right out of the bottom of that. And then I'm going to use this white paint and that wet paint and drag a few things around and see what happens when I do that. I'm sure a few colors will change and we may swipe a few things out. I like what happens when paint combines in the pan and then I pick it up with the shovel, because agitating paint, as I will tell you often, creates cells. More often than not. That's actually so much more cool than it was already. I'm very happy. So I'm going to stick with my, no I'm not. I was going to say I was going to stick with my shovel, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my spatula and move the color, because it's not very deep this time. Lots of times it's very deep. But I'm going to move it down to one end and try to not agitate it too much, because I don't want to mix it up yet. And I didn't leave myself a place to put it down. Okay, well that's fine. But I like this. I'm going to take that and lead it right over. I have the other video of making this painting, and I'm not inclined to share it with you, but I guess it would be only fair, but I'm pretty sure I'd be tuning out. There, I have some nice cells happening right in the dish. That is not as wide as I would like it to be, but it's creating beautiful stripes in its ribbon pour. And I have an edge catcher. I think I showed it to you. I'm going to take my spatula, excuse me, my shovel out of the way and move this paint out of the way, hopefully, and bring my edge catcher over and see what happens when I decide, I think I want to save that side. I like that side. See what happens to everything when I let it go down this way. And I'm going to tap it over. I'm going to squeeze it back and forth on the edge so it covers over the edge and continues the pattern, you see? And what else am I going to do? I don't need to do that up higher, so I'm going to move this out of the way and go back to work again. I have some beautiful Prussian blue that I've been playing with lately. It was a Grumbacher paint, and it was the only one that, there were a few others, but it was the only one that seemed to have a nice viscosity, even though it was in a tube, so that it made me think that I could probably mix it easily. Whenever I mix my paints, I always mix my GAC 800 first with my color. It cuts it down a little bit. I like this color, and I'm gonna add some more because it's as close to black. I don't know if it needed all that there, but I think I'm just going to put something else up there anyway in a moment. And maybe over there too. Hopefully that wasn't a mistake. But I still have more colors. I have a little orange there. I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of this smallest scoop, but it takes time to get used to any new tool, so I'm going to give myself the benefit of the doubt for the moment. I'm just going to let the paint that's in there be sort of drawn off by gravity, and then use my spatula to get the rest out. And we are making some interesting patterns, and I'm not minding the color combinations. I do want more orange though. Sometimes orange is overpowering, like here, but sometimes you just need that shot of color. I'm not making mud, and I am going to steal some paint, put it right up there, and continue it on over. I think I'm really kind of enjoying the pattern that I'm getting. And there's all kinds of different layers of paint, so as you tap it, which is what I like to do, other things resurface. I think that's the right word, resurface, yeah. Anyway, so, pretty cool so far. I like dragging these flame shapes. I'm having more and more fun with those as I go. I can also take my spatula and dip it directly in to the dish of paint and just drag out whatever color strikes my fancy while I'm there. And I love doing that. I gotta tell you what, I recommend it highly. It's a lot of fun if you're in the mood to play. Playing with a big dish of paint is a lot of fun. So I'm going to throw this little scoop in the bucket, because maybe it'll help me not be so tempted to use it as readily, because I want to use something bigger again. Although, it's a good time to wipe off my spatula and use a damp rag to do the same. Although, you know, I did just grab a new yes, a new bamboo skewer. And these are wonderful little tools because you can make all kinds of changes, subtle or elaborate. Drag things down or spiral them out right in the middle. Maybe I don't want that right in the middle. Just thought of that. So I can also dip it in sideways, pick up some paint, and draw it down somewhere else. I'm not minding the old painting in the background at all anymore. And I don't mind keeping paint on my skewer. Let's see if I can steal a little more here. Drag it out. Yeah, I'm not minding that. If it's nice and thick, it's because I feel free to do that because of the GAC 800 in my mix. It is something that prevents cracking quite nicely for me most of the time. I don't see cracking, and I'm inclined and very prone to wanting to leave my paint thick. There's some beautiful color under there. And all I thought about this basically was that it needed to be allowed to become something else. And I'm going to take a little tiny bit of that pretty metallic orange, and without getting too mucky, hopefully. Yes, I like that. You don't have to use a whole line of color if you're using squeeze bottles, as long as you have, I'm going to pull that to the edge. I'm not even sure I left you in frame. Wow. You know what? I'm going to check that right now. Although I do think I did. It might give me a moment to think about the painting too. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so I see this white here. Yes, I disturbed my hubcap collection below us. And I'm enjoying most of this, actually. Okay, so now, I don't have any of my favorite purple left in here. I have some here. I have some of this purple I wanted to use, which got left out in the outdoors for a while and still survived. And I'm liking the white, so I'm going to take a chance. I'm also going to go back and grab my shovel again. And I'm going to start over here. I'd like to let some of it go down over the edge. but that's kind of a tricky prospect. All right, I'm happy with that, and that wasn't much of a mark, so you don't have to go crazy. I love that little pattern right there on the front. Can I get it? Can I? No, I can't. I sort of can. Isn't going to keep me from trying. Okay, because I have so much white in there, I'm going to come back again. Oh, pretty in the bottom of my dish. I did not overindulge myself in adding a lot of extra colors to that dish. I kind of like to have extra. I'm almost always willing to have something to use up rather than not enough. But by the same token, it's not that hard with squeeze bottles to just go ahead and add something. You can use the edge of your shovel as a drawing tool and let some of it at the edge of the canvas drag right over. That's really pretty. I'm happy with this. I'm down to scriddlins though. That's a friend of mine's word, scriddlins. I'll leave it to your imagination what it applies to. And I'm going to lift the shovel a little bit so I can let paint go there. That is making me happy, and I am wishing that I had that missing spatula. I have two actually. I bought the second one, so if I lost the first one, I had one to fall back on, and guess what? It's nowhere to be found right now. So I am going to use the spatula that I have. With what's on it and what I just dragged onto it. And I'm pretty happy with all of that. Even though it's not conventional, neither am I. Let's see what happens when we do a little creative paint pulling. I really want to go in over here. I don't know if you can see over here, but you will in a moment. I'm going to throw that shovel with those beautiful colors that I just scraped off into the bucket. And I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I don't believe that that's going to turn to mud. It's very pretty. And whatever's on my spatula will just become rivulets. Purplish. Gray has its place. I can't use gray to paint with. It never ever works for me. It always turns everything into something I don't like. I will get to that silver. Somebody begged me to try. I kind of like the idea of dragging a little ribbon over this area. We haven't used any torching, which is usually a good idea if your paint is thick, because it doesn't just release silicone when you're using it, which I'm not. It also makes the patterns in the Floetrol, or the patterns in the acrylic paint, pop because of the Floetrol being in there. I'm loving that! Ha! I'm so pleased that this became something I like, because it really, really, really was not anything that I was proud of. I'd have to stop now though. I'm having too much fun, evidently. And there's the timer, which means we got a couple minutes left. Actually, probably less than that. To tell you that I have the availability if you would like to contribute to help me keep painting. Not only do I have an Amazon link at the top of my page where you can buy products to help me, but I have a Patreon and a PayPal donation availability. Links are in my description, and also icons are on my YouTube header should you so desire to help keep me painting. My income situation is getting a little better. I've sold a couple pieces of artwork, but I would love to have a roof on my studio, so I actually had a place to do larger artworks, which I cannot do right now. Alright, I think you'll be gone, so I'll say this is Priscilla in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio, torching where she can see to get rid of any air bubbles! And Priscilla out, and I'm very happy with all of that. That's just gorgeous for me. I'm happy.